This week on the Modified World, I'm stabbing nostrils and helping you guys to avoid getting hosed on Aftercare. So stay tuned. So welcome to the Modified World. It's the weekly web show about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, and why it matters. I'm your host. I'm the senior piercer, world-renowned Pangea Piercing, beautiful sunny downtown Ann Arbor, Michigan. I purvey internet wackiness. This week I had a nice young lady come out and let me stab her nostril. I always have people want to do a nostril piercing stare at that nail head right there because A, it keeps their eyes open, which if your eyes are open then you'll feel less, because when you close your eyes, well, it makes all your other senses a lot more intense. And most people don't want more intense sense of touch when getting a piercing. That's a pro tip. Alright, love, we are looking good, so whenever you're ready, deep breath in and blow it out. There you go. Bam! Little saline. Trade this dude out. Nothing painful, just weird and slidey. I'll slip this guy in here. It snapped on there with my finger in your nose. It's my favorite part. If you like, you can lay on down. I can get that ring slipped in there for you. Slip that guy out, because that would have been real tough. Said numerous times, stabbing people's not bad, but you need to have consent. Consent is very important. Not just with piercing either, with other things. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. If you're doing something without somebody's consent, well, you're kind of yeah. Anyway, how you feeling, love?
Good.
Awesome.
Good.
Let's take a look.
So fun.
Don't touch. Yeah!
Thank you.
Show the happy people at home what we did. You think I knew what I was doing. Yes. Yeah. Now, I know you've seen it a million times, and of course, if you're a viewer of the show, then you've probably also seen my little tutorial on nostril piercings and how I do them and all that good stuff. I figure that's part of the reason y'all come here is to see piercings. So, of course, we give you a piercing. But while I'm giving you that piercing, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, well, why people have such wacky ideas about aftercare. See, the truth of the matter is there's old wives' tales that get passed around, the idea of twist it, turn it, rotate it and stuff. Well, that might have been applicable if you had old-timey jewelry that wasn't polished for but, if you're using professional grade jewelry, that's not an issue. No, a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's a lot of advertising. When I say advertising, I don't actually mean like, a billboard for a product or something like that. I'm talking more about the sneaky advertising. The truth of the matter is there's some body piercing aftercare companies will do some kind of trickery sometimes where it's like, they'll hire a company that does online viral marketing type stuff, and they'll have a nice person with a communications degree who sits there at a computer all day long, and maybe they use powerful programs that can search all through different types of media platforms looking for keywords like piercing and irritated, or piercing and bump, or piercing and infected. And then they get on there and, like, say, for instance, you got on Reddit, you go to the piercing Reddit thing, and you're like, oh, hey, I've got this bump on my piercing, and what can I do for it and stuff? And then you have somebody come on there and be like, well, hey, my sister used this magic bird fat, or this cool tree sap, or this ocean water thing and stuff, and it totally healed her up immediately and cured cancer. And you're like, oh, wow, thank you, helpful stranger. But the truth of the matter is it's just some slick marketing firm out there doing what they can to kind of sucker you in. That happens a lot. Unfortunately, people actually base their real world view off of that, and their real idea on how piercings heal and stuff off of that. And that's, unfortunately, a real problem. I relate it to us on that because, well, it's somewhat easy to see it in the body piercing world, but people kind of lose track of it when it comes to the ideas of like social engineering or political thought or something like that. There is hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars get spent on getting your opinion to change about something, thinking about a topic or whatever. Billions of dollars, Every major military in the world has a pretty good sized cyber warfare unit that, well, that's what they do. I mean, it's like the idea is that, they're hacking into foreign, security systems and stuff like that. And that's really not how it really works. Of course they do stuff like that, but most of that is actually spent towards getting people's opinions to change about something. That's really where cyber warfare comes in. And, if you're just done in the realm of selling products, well, hell, that's just modern marketing, But that's also, too, why I steadfastly refuse to accept a single penny from any kind of manufacturer of body jewelry, aftercare materials, body piercing tools, any of that type of stuff in any way, shape, or form. If you're in that business, then I won't take your money, because then, honestly, my audience would get, would rightfully be worried about my motivation. Like I said, it's pretty easy to see that in the world of body piercing, but it's important to see it in all these realms, and it's also important to be sure to get your information from a trusted source that, everybody's got a bias. I'll be the first to admit, hell, I'm biased, but at least I'm very upfront about what my biases are and stuff. I want good quality body piercing and body modification to be available to anybody. That's my big thing. But it doesn't really happen if there's companies and people out there being sneaky about their marketing, without it being a known thing. So I gotta kind of, like to bring it to people's attention. So, be wary of who you get your information from and don't get screwed. That was my show this week. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something, remotely entertained. I do this all the time, so if you haven't thrown me a subscription yet, you really ought to. Plus, it kind of burns YouTube a little bit to see the edgier channels growing. So, hey, throw me a subscription, and be sure to stop back by next week for another episode of The Modified World.